Let's make pickled cucumbers. I am slicing the cucumbers, as you can see. We're going to make a pickled cucumber. So we're going to slice them up and we're going to put them in a jar. This is the jar we're putting them in. I save my jars from when I have my salsa and everything. So I sliced them really thin, not too thin, but just thin enough. And I'm going to add them to the jar until the jar is full. So I'm doing this because I want to make sure they get used and don't go bad. They were about to go on me, so I had to pickle them up. And I can still put them in a salad or something. So we're putting them all in the jar, and the jar was just big enough for all of them. And I did have to toss 2 cucumbers, so I'm going to mince some garlic. And the trick is you smash it first before you start mincing it. It makes it easier. And then also you can smash it with the skin on because it will come off easily. So I'm going to smash all 3. I'm not going to use all 3, but I'm going to mince all 3. And I use the rest of the minced garlic in another recipe later on. So after I smash them, I'm going to begin slicing them up. And I didn't show it fully, but we'll see that I have a process of how I do it. And I didn't have my tripod with me, so I had to cut to it. So I add a little bit of salt, and I continue to chop it to make it even smaller, even finer. So I am mixing the salt in, and I am smushing it. And I have a mortar and pestle, so at one point I took the pestle and smashed it a little bit on there. I mean, it would have been better to put it in the mortar instead of using the pestle and just smashing it that way. I could have fully smashed it in the mortar and pestle, but I smashed it somewhat in there, and then now I am smashing it a little bit more, and this is just the consistency that I got. So I'm going to take half of that and I'm going to put it in this jar. So I took half of the garlic and I put it in a jar, and I'm going to add some spices. I added some garlic powder, some onion powder, some basil, a tablespoon of sugar, and some adobo sazon, or Goya adobo, something like that. And then I add apple cider vinegar until the jar is full. This is the basil that I'm adding in. I didn't measure, so I did everything to my liking, just visually. And be careful when you put in the apple cider vinegar in, because as you can see, it can do a little bit of splashback. And that's the sugar that I'm adding. And that just takes down the acidity. And so it did splash back on me a little bit. But I did add just a little bit more, and just a little bit more of the sugar, of the adobo. And as you can see, I am filling it until the jar is full. And then once the jar is full, we are going to mix it together. So I'm still filling it. And I add the top and we shake it until it is combined. I did go back and add a little bit more apple cider vinegar because I hadn't added enough to it. I just wanted to make sure that all of the seasonings were incorporated in evenly. But that's that. And so this is what it looks like. And this is how it looks fully shaken. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're going to put the top back on. And then we're going to just put it in the refrigerator. And you can leave it overnight or a couple hours.